Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again for the Cafe and Diner Archives receipt chain coverage. This time it's part 2 for the CIC receipt chain, and we start with CIC05. Our password hint is out in NJ or New Jersey, 1993 to minus X equals 189. And the answer is in CIC04. So it looks like there has some sort of math involved. Who died in 1804? Let's see if we can get some sort of hint from the Cafe and Diner Archives wiki page. It says, can you solve for X? The caring vicar asks if 1DH has been recently seen. X is when he died. Who died 1804 that is important? I think there was one name in there that we hadn't seen before, and that was Hamilton. I think Alexander Hamilton died in 1804. Let's give a little bit of a guess, and I was right. Yay freaking me. This is from employee number 62 on the 18th of September 1995, and it says, good news, Hamilton is on board to help us again. Of course, leaving the hotbed so open is dangerous, but we have a pretty good reason to do so. Zulfa is no Mr., no Mrs., she's a full-on miss. She'd probably be one tier higher if we had a tier higher. Well, we do, and we don't. But the big bads are for more big and or bads. Miss. Zulfa is dangerous, deadly, and potentially world-ending, but there is some hope. So let's backtrack a bit, and I'll actually explain what Miss Zulfa is, or at least what we think she is. Miss Zulfa is most likely not a living entity, but an AI or artificial intelligence. How intelligent this artificial entity is still up in the air. Based on Miss Zulfa's repetitive questions, I'm guessing it's not much more than a simple program. A program that acts like, the Morris worm, if you've heard of that. It's a program that kind of worms its way into systems, replicating itself along the way. Now I know that's a lot of techie talk, and we aren't exactly computer fixers, so what elevates this virus to the miss level? Well, this malicious bit of code is able to execute itself into a tangible form. Not sure exactly on the specifics of how that works yet, but it's not a far stretch to assume other tech is involved somehow. I have a theory on how it works, but I'll get to that in a second. Back to what Miss Zulfa is. The best term I found to describe her is a sort of gray goo entity. Microscopic, self-replicating, programmable, and able to break down matter to build more of itself. If Miss Zulfa turns out to actually be intelligent enough to have sentience, she'd easily be a big bad, an almost unstoppable big bad, although most big bads could be pretty unstoppable if they wanted to, I guess. So back to how Miss Zulfa, is my best guess. Miss Zulfa started out as a virus, a very potent virus, probably utilizing some of other tech's architecture. It was sent out looking for a good host system, some sort of setup that had the right pieces to construct the first nanobot. Now, to my knowledge, nanotechnology in general is pretty exclusively other tech. So this virus needed to find a system that could see it and see hell, i.e. the other side. Once it was able to find the perfect host system, in this case, our loyal patron's computer, who probably had some extra toys he wasn't supposed to have, it was able to produce the first nanobot. From there, it consumed enough matter to eventually overtake our patron. Why Ms. Zulfa only went after him and not his whole house either points to a degree of intelligence or someone pulling the strings. Someone who made Ms. Zulfa. And I think we have a pretty good idea of who that someone is. We just need to find him, or I should say, find his street. Okay, so yes, I did cover at the end of the last video that this is an end of the world scenario with nanobots taking over the world, killing anything that's organic matter. And that's what this seems to be pointing to for sure. And I'm very much excited to see where this goes, especially because it has some type of grounding in AI. And we all know how AI is a scary, scary thing as of late. We are on to CIC06, which was posted the 19th of September 1995 from employee 62, and it says, crap, well, we did in a way find our customers. But of course, haberdashery is involved, and not in a fun way, in a too tight and ill-fitting way. We're going to try and get this coffee delivered piping hot, but there's a good chance that things will go 72 on us. Especially considering we've only had about 24 or 48 hours to prepare. There's also a good chance we'll miss our window to deliver this coffee, in which case we'll need to wait another week to try again. Of course, if Miss Zulfa is as bad as we think she is, then we won't have another week. So, it's now or never. Our customer that we're after likes his coffee hand delivered, and access to his house is hit or miss at best. He lives in a very gated community that only opens its gates every Wednesday. Luckily, tomorrow is Wednesday, but these gates only open for 1 hour at a time. So we'll need to be in and out before the gates close again, or we'll be stuck in that gated community for an entire week. Until now, we've not given our customer a new name, and for good reason. He's not a customer in the conventional sense. He is a haberdasher, but not a Canadian. I'm not even sure if haberdasher really covers what he is. He's more of a scientist, or perhaps occultist better suits him. Of course, we don't really serve coffee to non-customers customarily, so I'm not sure how he should be addressed in terms of receipt. I wouldn't want to step on any toes unnecessarily, so for now, we'll just keep referring to him as our customer, at least until the owner lets me know what the best name for him would be. Until I know for sure, I'll just leave it in the cafe, you know? Do I really want to throw myself into an unknown gated community, or well, throw myself and Hamilton? Can't say that I do. To be honest, it is frightening. Oh well, it's what I signed up for. Ready or not, we have to do it. Could be my last receipt, but let's hope it's not. Right now, I've got to focus on the task at hand. 1 cup of cafe and diner coffee coming right up, whether or not our customer wants it. The password hint for this is customer. It's 2 words, and I'm not totally sure what it would be from the last receipt, so let's go ahead and look at the hints. Read the previous receipt rather carefully. Acrostics can be quite useful in hiding messages. Last paragraph. So it's in the last paragraph here somewhere. So what would it be? I have no idea. I'm too dumb. Let's find out what the answer is. Dr. Crow. Yeah, I wouldn't have got that. I wouldn't have got that at all. Alrighty, here's our second to last receipt, and it says, Daniel Hamilton is dead. Miss Sulfa got him. We were stuck there on Dracula Drive for a week. A long week. We missed our window to escape, and we had to deal with both Miss Sulfa and Dr. Crow. If it's any consolation, and I hardly think it is, Dr. Crow is also dead, killed by his own creation. It'd almost be poetic if I didn't have to now go tell Hamilton's wife that he's not coming back. Not only is he not coming back, now the hotbed is completely unprotected. Well, at least Miss Sulfa is also trapped inside Dracula Drive. Without someone to control the goo, it should stay dormant. And I doubt anyone will be able to find Dracula Drive now that Dr. Crow is dead. I can't say I fully understand how Dracula Drive works, but I feel like it was tied to Dr. Crow, and with him dead, it probably, hopefully, shouldn't return. And if it does, I'm guessing the remnants of the goo will be long gone. He was a madman, but he still had the sense to make sure the goo had a shelf life of a few months at most. Of course, Miss Sulfa isn't the only creation of Dr. Crow. There's still a few of his creatures running around Buckeye. There's a chance they have a method to return to Dracula Drive, but I'm guessing Crow wouldn't let them have that much power. We should keep an eye and an ear out for them, though, just in case. Which actually reminds me, I think I'm going to stay here for a month or 2 to help make sure the rest of Dr. Crow's experiments don't act up and make sure Mrs. Hamilton and his son are okay. Also, someone needs to be here to make sure the hotbed doesn't heat up any further. With Crow dead and the gray goo trapped and decaying, I think it's safe to say this tab has been closed at a heavy price, but closed nonetheless. I think this is the first we've seen a death in this story, and it brings a level of seriousness to everything that is happening. This is a very dangerous job that they're doing, and now somebody's paid the price for a misjudgment on their part. It's unfortunate, but I would like to see what the owner has to say, and I usually know it is the owner when I see a CD level receipt. So it says, please complete data 7542 to reconstruct admin key. It's 1 word. Don't know what that is. They are receipts. Check the puzzles themselves. Bold the letters. Corvus. I wouldn't have got that. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. All right. It says, a critical error has occurred. Please enter admin system key to reboot. New system host found. CADCOM 95 version 2.1 send query. Can you see this? Yes. Do you see this? Yes. Can you enter hell? Yes. Host system compatible send query. Enter hell. De Solomon, Lenore, et Glior. I don't know what that says. Processing hell for that. Process complete. Target this person found. Awaiting admin key. Time remaining 113 days. Incoming message from De Solomon. So, Selena, you think this is over. You think that you've won. Did you ever consider that in death I grow stronger? Pitiful mortals, always fearing their own mortality. Life and death are but a cycle, and in death, the shackles of my humanity are undone. Now my true search begins. I will return. I have made sure of that. Although I may not return the same as I was, as they say, death really changes a man. It seems my final tether to the living world will be fully undone in 113 days if I am unable to enter the admin key. Still though, a marvel, isn't it? Most demons would kill to have their human memories, even for a paltry 100 days. But even if my memories fade, my path will remain clear. The beast must feast, and feast it shall. Yours posthumously, Crow. End of message from person. 113 days remain. Please input admin key before system shutdown and decay is initiated. Oh, it looks like they've been infiltrated on a horrific scale. I really do want to see if this comes back at any point in time, because the concept of Dr. Crow getting into their computers as a demon of sorts is frightening, and I wonder if the owner notices this later. We'll be back once again next time for another receipt chain to maybe, just maybe, find out. But until then, I'll see you next time. Sweet nightmares. I just wanted to take the time to thank my Patreons and channel members. Your support is so appreciated. If you are not a channel member or Patreon and you would like to become one, there's a link in the description below. All channel members and Patreons receive 24 hours early access to all content posted on both of my channels. And all Patreons or channel members of the $10 Hellhound tier can request one horror-related video or stream topic, or one horror-related game that I play on my live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel and the content that I make.